is how the panel is laid out. So if you look, it's not above here. So right up here, you can see the road, you can see everything very clearly. And I believe that most of the auto manufacturers are basically bowing down to the people that hurt, and there's not that many people that are capable of creating change that are willing to help. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And in today's episode, I'm going to tell you why I believe that this 2024 Mark 8 Golf GTI might be the very best or the very last of the best vehicles that Volkswagen has created. Or let me not say best. I would say the last true enthusiast vehicles that Volkswagen would have created. And yeah, I'm gonna take you guys out. We're gonna head out for a ride and we'll discuss why I believe this to be true. So let's go. All right, so some of you are going to want to know why did I say this, why I believe that this is the last great vehicle or the last great enthusiast vehicle that Volkswagen is going to build, and I'll kind of explain right now. But before I even get into that, let me just say this, right? I personally believe that there's three types of people in this world, right? And I believe there's literally just three types of people, right? There's the people that are more inclined to hurt you. There's the people that's more inclined to help you, and then there's the people in the middle that basically they're like sheep. They're going to follow strong leadership from either side. They don't really have strong opinions of their own, but they will follow whoever they may, be a little bit more aligned with ideology, from an ideological standpoint, or they may like the way they look, or they may like their charisma. But these are the people that are led, right? And these are the people that do the most damage, because 9 times out of 10, the strong leadership is going to be on the side of the people that's more willing to hurt than the people that are willing to help. Because the people that are willing to help, 9 times out of 10, once they pop up, the people that are willing to hurt them or knock them off, or they do large marketing campaigns to make them look bad and basically, disavow or devalue them, So, and I said all of that to say this, right? The politics of the world, or the way the world works, it definitely affects things like car culture, and just it affects everything. It affects the homes you're able to buy, the cars you're able to buy, where you're able to live. It affects everything, right? So I said all that to say this. I believe right now that these are the last fun cars that we're going to be able to have where we can kind of control it. I think they're pushing towards more EVs, because what do the people that hurt want more than anything? The people that hurt want the ability to control you. They want the ability to put your car, make it go in reverse if they want to, or make it drive back to the dealership if you miss a payment. They want to control you in every aspect of your life. So they would want you to be more in automatic cars versus a car where you have to physically do something to put it into gear to get it to go. They don't want you to have things that are more in the mechanical sense. They don't want you living on farms producing your own food and stuff. They want you to be controlled. They want to be able to control what happens to you. And I believe that most of the auto manufacturers are basically bowing down to the people that hurt, and there's not that many people that are capable of creating change that are willing to help. And everybody, the sheep, are just going to follow. They're going to follow whatever's popular. Whatever's popular, they're going to go in that direction. So, but I do see a lot of people. I see people standing up for things like, just look. I'm not going to get into too political. I'll just say there's people that say save the manual gearbox, and they're spending their money where they're putting their money where their mouth is by buying these type of cars. And I would say this is the last, because 2024 is the last year you can get a manual gearbox VW Golf, right? I would say Golf GTI and Golf R. I'm not sure about in Europe and overseas what other Golfs they may still offer them with the manual gearbox. But here in North America, it's the last year you can get it with a manual gearbox. And I think also in Europe, it's probably the last year you can get a Golf GTI and Golf R with manual. Actually, no, in Europe, they stopped doing the Golf R with a manual gearbox a long time ago. But I digress. You know, there's those three types of people that kind of, you know, they're warring, and then there's like a percentage of the people that want to hurt that kind of, they have the money, the power, and they kind of dictate what happens. And I think there's people like me that kind of lean towards the side of wanting to help. You know, I'm one of the ones that want to help, but obviously I don't have the means to really go against these people or anything. So I just do my little videos here, and I hope you guys pick up what I'm putting down and you guys could use it to your own benefit. So I personally feel that if you have the ability to go out and buy one of these manual gearbox Golf GTIs right now, you should. And then if you know, the VW will send surveys and stuff like that, tell them that you want more manual gearbox cars. And listen, I'm not fully against I'm not against really EVs and automatic cars and stuff like that. I just feel like there's not enough good people at the top for those things to be viable as they should be right now. Because right now, they're like basically destroying countries in Africa and stuff to get all the raw materials to make EVs anyway. And it's hurting people all over the world, right? So that's something that you know, weighs heavily on me when I think about stuff like that. And then I think, like, realistically, if they wanted to, we could basically run these cars on ethanol. We could run them on pure ethanol, clean fuels, just by having farmers, you know, do their bit here. But that goes against what those people that want to hurt are all about. So I went off on a tangent there, Gemini vibes. But so I personally feel like this is one of the last great cars from VW because it's being offered with a manual gearbox. Some people would say the Mark 7.5 was the last, and I had a Mark 7.5 Golf R. Loved that car. That car was amazing. And you know, sadly, this is not as mechanical as that one was. I remember that one even had a CD player in it. That's another thing. They don't want you to have CDs and stuff like that and own your own music. They want you streaming everything. Like, that's basically the way the world's going. So I'm an advocate of freedom of choice, where people, freedom of choice meaning like you can choose if you want to have a manual gearbox, you can have an automatic, you can have an EV. Like, let it be an open market. Let people choose what they want to buy, you know, and don't demand that you could only have this, you know, you could only have the thing that we could control. That's basically where we're at, you know. Now I do feel once we have better humans running things in the future, that you will, I think the EVs and the stuff like that, I think where they're really going to thrive is when we start having vehicles that fly. When we have, like, you know, it becomes commonplace to have flying cars. That's when I think EVs and stuff will really take off. But up until then, I still think we should have like gasoline powered cars, hydrogen, have like all the different alternatives. Just have an open market and let the markets choose what they want to have. But yeah, this has been a kind of a long rant, but I'll go in and I'll show you some of the features and some of the reasons why I think this car is so cool. So let me get out from doing this long rant for you guys. By the way, shout out to the MOC, shout out to Q the Chaotic, Blueprint 1 Elite, 100 Gang Nate, Will Motivation, myself. All right, Papa Long Leg, shout out to you too. So yeah, oh, shout out to Race Car 21, shout out to Fast Life, all the guys and supporters. Shout out to DBX. I can't remember I think it's 78 or something like that. But the guy with the GR Corolla, shout out to you too. And yeah, let me go in and show you what's so cool about this vehicle and why you should hurry up and buy yours now. So this is one of the things that I prefer on this year's, the 2024 Mark 8 Golf GTI, is how the panel is laid out. So if you look, it's not above here. So right up here, you can see the road, you can see everything very clearly. Down here, you know, everything is kind of driver centric. Like even the screen is kind of angled slightly towards the driver. But on a new one, it's like popped up and it's kind of like more like an iPad a little bit, I would say. It's very iPad-ish. So it's not very driver friendly. It's more for people that are into tech. And obviously in 2025, you lose the manual gearbox. You're gonna have that little nub that that's gonna be your, whatchamacallit, that's going to be basically how you control your gears. It's going to be automatic DSG, you know. And the DSG is great, but I'm just upset that we're going to be losing the manual gearbox. So if you want a manual gearbox GTI and you want it brand new, then 2024 is the last year you can get it. You got to rush out and go get those now. So the interior to me is slightly better. Even the exterior, I'll show you real quick, is going to be slightly different. Like, I personally like the way this looks. It's very aggressive. If you look at the front end right here, I think the newer version is going to be, I don't know, it's switched up a little bit. I'll put like a picture so you can see what the newer version looks like. But I like the current version, and you know, I even like the wheels that you get with the 2024. These are like it's like the Golf R wheels here. I forgot the actual name of it, but this is what you get when you get a 2024. So I think it's the last year of the great fun enthusiast type of VWs. After this is going to be more like iPad-ish. It's going to be more tech focused and not as driver focused, as you can tell from like how they're going to angle the screens and the interior and just the overall feel of it. But you guys comment below, let me know what you think. Do you think that the newer Golfs are going to be like more fun and more enthusiast focused than the current gen? And like I said, I also would agree with the people that would say the Mark 7.5s was the last true enthusiast Golfs and the last true enthusiast VWs. But I would say the closest to those Mark 7.5s is the 2024 model year. So, you know, that's all I got to say about that, man. But comment below, let me know what you think. And with that, Race Car Friends out.